In the heart of Barafpa, whispers of a forgotten kingdom and its buried treasure haunted the villagers. But this wasn't a story of fortune, it was a tale of fear. They believed a terrifying entity, the Dhan Pishachini, guarded the gold with an insatiable hunger. For Raghav, a farmer watching his family starve, these warnings were just whispers against the roar of his desperation. He had heard the rumors gold coins, buried near the ancient banyan tree at the forest's edge. He knew the risks. The Pishachini was said to awaken at dusk, but the thought of his children's hungry faces was a far greater horror. He would face whatever waited in the shadows as the sun bled below the horizon. Raghav stepped into the forest. The air grew thick, heavy with an unnatural, metallic scent. Ahead, the colossal banyan tree loomed, its trunk encircled by a protective barrier of red threads, a warning to all who dared approach. Raghav didn't hesitate. He stepped over the threads, breaking the sacred circle. A faint, chilling whisper slithered through the air. "Greed calls greed." He spun around, his heart pounding. Nothing. The voice seemed to come from the very wind itself. He ignored it, focusing on the ground beneath the banyan. The earth looked recently disturbed. Hope, sharp and dangerous, surged through him. He began to dig, his shovel tearing into the soil with frantic energy. Minutes stretched into an eternity, then, a solid thud. His shovel had struck something hard. He dropped to his knees, clawing at the dirt, and pulled out a heavy clay pot. He smashed it open. Gold coins, hundreds of them, spilled onto the dark earth, glowing with an ethereal light that outshone the rising moon. For a moment, pure joy washed over him. He had done it. His family was saved. And then, a profound, deafening silence fell over the forest. The chirping of crickets, the rustling of leaves, it all ceased. A crawling sound came from behind him, from the hollowed-out roots of the banyan. He turned slowly. A figure was emerging from the darkness. It had the shape of a woman, but everything about it was wrong. Her limbs were impossibly long and thin, like a spider's legs. Her hair hung down like wet, rotting vines. But her eyes, they were the most terrifying of all. They burned with a liquid molten gold, mirroring the coins at his feet. A dry, hissing voice emerged from her throat. "Return what is not yours." Raghav scrambled backward, clutching a single gold coin in his trembling hand. As he moved, the forest itself seemed to turn against him. The trees twisted, their branches contorting into gnarled, pointing fingers, all aimed directly at him. The Pishachini dropped to all fours, her movements disturbingly fast, like a starved animal closing in on its prey. Her jaw unhinged, stretching wider than any humans could, revealing a black, cavernous maw. "Those who take become mine." Raghav ran. He fled through the suffocating darkness, but the forest was a shifting maze. Every path he took, every direction he turned, somehow led him right back to the banyan tree. The circle of red threads glowed faintly in the gloom, a sanctuary just out of reach. He could see it, but he could never get to it. A sudden icy coldness brushed the back of his neck. He froze, too terrified to even breathe. He turned his head, and her face was there, inches from his own, her golden eyes boring into his soul. The next morning, a search party of villagers ventured into the forest. They called Raghav's name until their voices were hoarse. They found no sign of him. All that remained was a single, gleaming gold coin lying at the base of the banyan tree, its surface stained with a dark, almost black, tarnish. That day, they tied more red threads around the tree, reinforcing the barrier, their hands shaking as they worked. Now, the old folks in Barafpa will tell you, if you're foolish enough to enter that forest after dark, listen closely. You might just hear a whisper on the wind, a tempting, deadly invitation. Greed calls greed. Come take what you desire.